knows a lot in his head. Very clever man. See his face?
But unfortunately nowadays Kilburn is not the same Kilburn that I used to know. The Kilburn I used to know, you know, the Irish generation was here. The Kilburn market was buzzing with customers, yeah. And but nowadays, to be honest with you, we hardly see, you know, those people. They gone back home or their home countries. Some other people they replace their, but it's not the same, to be honest. My name is Muhibullah. My surname is Muhib. Originally I'm from Afghanistan and I've been living in the UK for the past 42 years. It was a very, very difficult journey for me. You know, at the time back home, I used to be at university my first year. Unfortunately, due to circumstances, the Russian invaded Afghanistan and then we had no choice. You know, I started fighting against the Russian occupation. Then for the 3 years I was fighting. After that, the organization which I used to work with, they decided to send me to London so I can work with their, in the office in London. And I used to look after injured people who used to come, and their treatment was extremely difficult back home or nearby countries. You know, they used to be here for treatment. And we used to accommodate them, interpreting, cooking, cleaning, washing them, take them to the hospital for the treatment till they recovered and send them back home. Then after that, I find a part-time job for myself to support my family back home and myself here. Then I used to work in Central Mosque. After Central Mosque for a few years, a head of security. I worked for the Islamia Primary School for Cat Stephen, the old pop star. At the time he was a superstar, then he converted to Islam and changed his name to Yusuf Islam. And I used to work in the school, take the kids to PE, and after that I worked for London Transport. I worked for the BBC Pashto service for a few days. Unfortunately, it wasn't my cup of tea because I was forced to say something which I disagree with 100%. And then I left the job after 3-4 days. Then after that I worked for the London Transport. After London Transport I went to Saudi Arabian Embassy. I worked for 21 years in there. After 21 years with my own wish, so I couldn't continue there, I left the job. I worked with another prince who was one of the diplomats who used to be with us at the embassy, introduced me to his brother-in-law. He was a prince. I worked with him for 3 years. Then after that 3 years I had a severe neck pain and I had severe, trapped nerve. I couldn't continue to work and just ended up in this place to work. You know, I'm working 6 days per week. The day 7 on Sundays I go shopping to complete the shopping for the shop. And physically, to be honest with you, I'm under a lot of pain and I'm not supposed to be working due to the surgeon who performed my neck operation, the National Hospital for Neurology and the GP, but unfortunately the bureaucracy of the system let me down. I paid all my taxes, I paid all my national insurance contribution. I supposed to be on employment support to support me, but they refused. A nurse overturned all the decision from the surgeon who performed the operation, and they all went against me, so I had no choice. They sent me to different classes, but at the end I decided just to occupy myself, come out during the morning, go in the evening. I know it's extremely difficult for me, but I'm just struggling. I'm not supposed to be lifting any weight more than 3 or 4 kilos, but I can't do anything. According to my surgeon, one wrong move, I can be paralyzed from the neck down, but on top of that I'm working. The most thing that I'm very pleased with, I wasn't allowed to continue my studies here. I've been kicked out of the university or Kilburn Polytechnic at the time because I was a political refugee and I couldn't afford to pay the fee, and I was kicked out of the Polytechnic. I wished to continue my studies, but I couldn't. But the only benefit I got is that my daughter, who is a pharmacist, and she's working great for the, she works in the Queen Alexandra Hospital, and she is very highly qualified. She can write prescription, and she can just going from word to word to reduce and increase the dosage of medication for the sick and needy people. And I've got a son who is working as a civil servant for the government, and he's got his own podcast that he's kept himself busy, and I'm very proud of them. At least I done my bit for the community, for the society, for the country, which gave me the shelter to live in, and then I have to do my bit, just to give something back in return. Unfortunately, even I couldn't bring my birth certificate. You see, when I was standing because I was involved in activities inside the capital in Kabul in Afghanistan, and then suddenly the guy came who used to work for the intelligence service, but who was like a double agent, So he came to me and he showed me the picture that the government sent him to get me arrested. And then after that he told me, he says he is under investigation as well, he is under surveillance, let's go. So he took me across the city, where the security post was, and then he let me go. So I was wearing just my traditional clothes with the sandals, and this is when I left my country. Not country, I went back to the front line with my friends, and then I was there. I traveled like 16 days to Pakistan to get arms and ammunition. I went back to Afghanistan and I stayed there, and then so many times I've been walking from Afghanistan to Pakistan, Pakistan to Afghanistan. And then finally the organization, as I was working with, they decided to send me to London to work here. We were living in Norwood Junction near Croydon, and then we stayed there for about 8 or 9 months. Then we came to Kilburn, and we used to live in Priory Road, and then from Priory Road I just went to one place in Anna Kingsgate Road, and then Hampstead, and then come back. At the moment I'm living in Finchley Road in near Swiss Cottage. The rules of the market is they are giving the license for each particular unit, and they give you the option what you can sell, what you can't sell. So because it's a small market, two people cannot sell the same thing. But unfortunately lately I used to sell perfume, like these ones, Arabic perfume, English perfume, yeah. This one is Arabic perfume, this is a spray. These ones are Arabic traditional incense stuff that nobody used to sell. But now unfortunately that thing, some people obey the rules and regulations, some people they don't. But for me to top up my stock, I have to, one day, one item stays here for like 6 months. Another day, one customer comes and buy the whole lot, so I have to top it up, And for example, nowadays these perfume, this is oil perfume, they are extremely popular among the different people. And the prices are very reasonable. so they are not very expensive. It's like oily, they're a jasmine, lovely, you know, fruity one, different ones. So each one is taken the one which they like. For example, this one is a rose one, this one is a red rose one, this one is a jasmine one, this one they call it full, like in English we call it honeysuckle. And these ones are very soft one. And these ones are English one. The price is extremely changed after, especially after coronavirus. This particular perfume I used to sell 2 for £5. Now it's 1 for £6. And the other problem is, you know, before the coronavirus, the wholesalers used to bring a container from China or India for 4,000 to 6,000 pounds. And now they are bringing it for 21 to 26,000 pounds for 3.5 months delivery. When it's arriving cargo, they say they have to pay the storage charge, waiting for the trucks to transport them to their warehouses. So that's why they increase the prices, but unfortunately for us, the prices I'm selling, our profit margin is going slimmer and slimmer. And but I have to help the community what they need, you know, so it's extremely difficult. You know. I have to tell them what there are the scarves, there are wintry scarves, there are summery scarves, there are the abaya which the Arab people wear, there are perfumes. So what is your interest, so I can direct you to that section and just show you a few samples, you see. When the African people comes, I show them one type of perfume. When the English people comes or the European comes, I show them different type of perfume. The quality and the package and it's all the same, but after 5 years, I know exactly who needs what and what they like. You know, for example, if I show you a perfume, you will not refuse not to buy it, you see. But this one, if my African customers comes, they don't like it. Yeah, this one is called Lovely, yeah. This one is a roll-on, it lasts you more than 2 months, it's cost you like £2, yeah. Lovely. Lovely for lovely. When the Arab people comes, I have to show them these ones. Yeah, this one is oud. Yeah, Arab people likes this one. Young girls, they like this one. Fruit and choco mask. This is a mask, this is a fruit. This has belonged to, you know, these ones are English one. Now, unfortunately, they increased the prices 5 times in 3 years. So now nobody is bringing it. This is only for my regular customers. Yeah, because I don't want to let them down. They've been my customers for a very long time. Yeah. I take very less profit, but I have to provide it to them. You know, this is what they need. To be honest with you, when the government let me down, and then I had a little bit of money saving. I decided, you know, that I have to do something myself. Then I was financially unable to get the shop in the main road, or I didn't have any idea what to sell, what not to sell, how can I get my stock from, you know, so I had absolutely zero idea about the shop and shopkeeping. Then I was passing by here and I told the gentleman, if I open a unit like this one, how much it will cost me. So he gave me a rough idea. So at the end I decided to buy his shop, which was this one. And there were a lot of stuff in here And as I say again, I didn't have any clue about the shop, about the shopping. And some customers got really upset. Some customers thought I was really silly, you know, selling very expensive stuff for very cheap. And then unless you go and buy your own stuff, once you enter the shop and everything is there, you have no clue, you know, so just to study and educate yourself. For example, if I buy the item now, I know how much I can sell it. But if the shop is like this, you know, I wouldn't know the prices. So some people, they got upset because I gave them the high price. Some people, they thought I was, you know, very generous or silly or stupid that I sell such an expensive item for very cheap price. Then gradually till I managed to find my own way, you know. So this was the difficult part at the beginning. So ever since I've been here, and then yeah, sometimes it's very busy, sometimes not busy, sometimes we hardly make our rent. But we have to, the only benefit for me is I'm leaving in the morning from home and I'm going back. I can communicate with people, you know. There is not a gold mine here for me, but at least, you know, keep me busy. Believe it or not, the baby was crying outside, yeah, and the mom wanted to breastfeed the baby. There was no place. I brought her to my shop, I put the chair, I left my shop, I went outside while she was breastfeeding a child, you know. So it's not only for the prayers, you know, I don't care about the nationality, I don't worry about their religion, you know, just as a humanity, the child needs to be fed, you know, the child needs to be fed. For example, if they are coming from outside London, they can't reach home, they have nowhere, you know, they ask me, you know, if they can pray in my shop, I say welcome. So they are coming most of the times, you know, I never said no, you know. This one customer is coming. Hello, Jane. How are you, darling? You want bread? Oh. Sorry if I repeated myself with my broken English. If I gave you a hard time, you know, couldn't understand most of, if I didn't understand or didn't give you the right answer to your question, because in the back is, you know, sometimes the ambulance is passing by, you know, it's the noise from there is more than the... I wish I could be with you at but due to my work, that 6 days I'm stuck here, the 7 days I'm working, doing the shopping, as I said before. I love to be with you to introduce myself or to give you the story of my life, or some of it. but just I decided, sister was kind enough just to come here to my workplace and interview and present it to you. I wish it's not too boring for you to listen to it, but this is my life story, part of life story. The sweetest life story that I shared with you, the depressing one I kept for myself. I appreciate your kindness. Thank you very much for coming to my shop, and I appreciate for you listening to me, and God bless you all. Thank you very much. I just gave you the sweetest part of the stories, you know, but there was really, really tough time in our life, you know. If I say I've seen death several times with my own eyes, and then I survived, you know, this is, you know, fighting, and mainly with the Russian occupation. They used to poison the water, they used to destroy the trees, you know, not for us to shelter or to benefit from the fruit from the trees. Killing donkeys, horses, not to be able to, not to be able to be used for transportation of the weapon or anything. So it was very difficult. And that was the first time in my life that I left my family, you know. Just going up to the mountain, I never had the experience of fighting. I never had but, you know,